Hello and welcome back to Humans and Society. This lesson focuses on interconnectedness of geography, culture, and religion under the subject Introduction to World Religions and Belief Systems. The objectives of this lesson are to cite religions or places where world's major religions evolved and to explain the interconnectedness of geography, culture, and religion. Asia is the birthplace of all the world's major religions and hundreds of minor ones. Like all forms of culture, Asian religions may be considered geographically in terms of both their places of origin and their distribution. Laws and social norms vary by religion and localities. The study about geography of religion may reveal some fascinating truths: why a certain country is predominated by one particular religion, or why a specific religion became homeland of great religions. The subcontinent of South Asia covers an area of more than 1.5 million square miles, stretching from the Hindu Kush and Baluchi hills on the west and the great Himalayan mountain range on the north, to the Burmese mountain on the east and Indian Ocean in the south. This is according to Wolpert in 1993. More than 4,000 years ago, a civilization emerged along the Indus River that developed a unique and exceptional culture long before the dawn of Christian era. Hinduism, with a polytheistic and ritual tradition comprising numerous cults and sects, is the world's oldest of several religions that originated in South Asia. It remains a unifying force of Indian culture and the social caste system, which Hindu tradition sees as a reflection of the relative spiritual purity of reincarnated souls. The religion has had little appeal outside the Indian cultural context. Except on Bali and other Hinduized islands of Indonesia, Hinduism is practiced outside the subcontinent mainly by Indian expatriates. Jainism and Buddhism emerged in reaction to prevailing Hindu practices in the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, respectively. Although Jainism never spread significantly beyond the present-day states of northwestern India, its principles of nonviolence and asceticism have deeply influenced Indian thought. Buddhism arose in northeast India as a universal alternative to hierarchical religion, offering nirvana or enlightenment to individuals regardless of culture or social station. In the centuries following its foundation, Buddhism gave rise to two main divergent schools: Theravada, which claimed orthodox adherence to the teachings of the religion's founder, the Buddha, and Mahayana, which held its teachings to be the fullest account of the Buddhist message. Sikhism, a monotheistic Indian religion, was founded in the Punjab in the late 15th century CE and has fueled that region's modern demands for independence. The current Indian state of Punjab has a Sikh majority, with the city of Amritsar in that state as the religion's spiritual center. West Asia is the home of three great religions, namely Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, comprising the area bordered on the west by the fertile coasts of the Mediterranean Sea and on the east by the arid deserts of Arabia. The history of these religions is closely linked to this region. Judaism, founded on the eastern Mediterranean region some 4,000 years ago, posits a covenant relationship between God, the source of divine law, and humankind. Most Asian Jews now live in Israel, although there are several Jewish communities in various other areas in the continent. In the 20th century, a number of Jewish sects or reformed movements founded elsewhere accompanied immigrants to Israel. Christianity, which was derived from Judaism some 2 millennia ago, came to have the largest number of believers among the world's religions. After it was adopted by the Roman and Byzantine empires, Christianity became predominant in Europe and in European-derived cultures. It is practiced by sizable minorities in many Asian countries, notably South Korea, and by Roman Catholic majorities in East Timor and the Philippines. Islam dominates as the state religion of most Southwest Asian countries, and a substantial majority of Muslims live in Asia. From the Arabian Peninsula, where it was founded in the 7th century, Islam spread throughout the Middle East into central parts of South Asia, and across the Bay of Bengal to Malaysia and to Indonesia, which remains predominantly Muslim. Muslims constitute important minority populations in India, the Philippines, and China. At the eastern end of the great Asian continent, one finds the cultural and political dominance of China. Stretching more than 5,000 kilometers across the Asian landmass, it is bordered by various bodies of water in the east and land borders in all other directions. China's population is concentrated primarily in the eastern and southern parts, where agricultural activities flourish. Great Chinese civilization developed entirely on its own without interference from outside forces. Chinese culture practically influenced all other countries at its outskirts, including Japan and Korea. The supremacy of the China on the Eastern Front can be explained by the role of its environment and geography that includes the alluvial plains, extensive fertile valleys, and pleasant climate. Ancient Chinese religious and philosophical traditions survive in the form of two main schools, Taoism and Confucianism, both of which originated in the 5th or 6th century BCE. The two schools differ in orientation. Taoism, stressing mystical experience and the individual's harmony with nature, and Confucianism, emphasizing the duty of the individual in society and government. But both have profoundly influenced Chinese and Chinese-derived culture. Indigenous Chinese folk religious traditions continue to influence the practice of both Taoism and Confucianism, as well as Buddhism. It's also widespread in Korea, where indigenous Korean religious traditions remain important as well. Shinto encompasses the indigenous religious beliefs and practices of the Japanese people, although among those practitioners that tradition has absorbed the influences of other belief systems such as Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. Its fundamental principles, linking sacred power, ritual observance, and imperial nationhood, remain unique to Japanese culture. Religion and culture are inseparable, as beliefs and practices are uniquely cultural. Religion and culture always exist in a close relation to each other. Together with aesthetics and ethics, religion constitutes culture. Religion creates culture, most of the time implicitly, because religion is also lived as a culture. It is inevitable that religion has a cultural spin-off, for no society can maintain itself solely on the basis of an explicit belief. All religions, cultures, and beliefs deserve the same amount of respect, even if they are different from your own. The ideas discussed in this lesson are based on the content standards of the Department of Education. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next lesson.